This is Suspenders Unbuttoned, a podcast where friends talk with friends about TV, movies, and books.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast. My name is Sarah.
And I'm Julie, and we're excited to welcome Frank Fletcher to the podcast. Welcome, Frank.
Hey, how are y'all?
Thanks for being here. We're excited to meet you, and you have a lot going on.
Super busy. Busy. A lot going on. Yes, ma'am.
A good busy.
Yeah, real good busy. So Frank, you're a singer. You have some music coming out. Can you describe your style of music?
It's modern country. We lean toward the Texas red dirt sound, but it's a little bit more radio friendly. So it's a little more modern. So this new single that we have coming out, somebody described it as like Cody Jinks meets Jason Aldean. So it's country rock kind of vibe.
Right.
Yeah, when we were listening, the first thing I messaged Julie was that you sound like it would be really fun to listen to you live. We both like live music. And yeah, sounds like a lot of fun.
Our live shows are where we really excel. We're huge on crowd interaction and bringing people into the show, and it's a lot of high energy, nonstop. Our shows, we don't take any breaks. We play straight through no matter what venue we're at. So it's kind of in your face.
That's awesome. I got to message her back and say I'll be going if work doesn't get in the way. I will be going. So we're excited to see you. You're going to be traveling. You have a lot of shows lined up. How many shows do you have lined up?
We average between 200 and 230 shows a year. So
that's a lot of shows.
It is a lot of shows.
It's a lot of shows. So you have a new song coming out that's going to come out in days here now, actually.
We have the official release party this Friday, June 23rd.
Fun.
So what's the name of the song?
The song is called Rollin'.
Okay.
And
what can you tell us?
It is some songs are really emotional and complicated. This song is not that song. It's it's a summertime party banger. It's just real life in the South. I mean, it's kind of me and my buddies how we used to hang out on the weekends before I started playing 200 shows a year.
Right, but
no time for hanging out now.
Yeah.
It's literally that type of sound that was why Sarah's like, oh my gosh, this would be a fun concert, right? And I was like, yes, absolutely, right. So that sound plays well live too. It's always fun to go see those types of shows live.
Right.
So the name of your song, Rollin', comes out on June 23rd. And then you just recently had a song out, Midnight Makes Me Crazy, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
That was the first song off of this EP that we're getting ready to release. We have an 8-song EP coming out soon. So Midnight Makes Me Crazy was co-written by a guy that actually used to play bass for me for a few years. So he's a good buddy of mine in our hometown, and we had talked about writing, and I'm on the road so much that I would just send him thoughts or lines that I came up with, and he'd send me stuff back, and we got it into a pretty good working order. And then the other guys in my band, we got together and reworked it, and it actually hit really well. It did really, really well. It charted on Apple Music and Spotify, and was really, really happy with the way it turned out. So,
well, it was awarded the Apple Music Best New Country Song, right?
It was.
Yeah, congratulations.
That was cool.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's fun. You gotta love how like streaming is less limiting than music used to be. When I was younger, you had to get yourself played on the radio. Now, really, people can pick what they want to listen to.
It's a double-edged sword, though, because it is a lot less limiting, but I can't remember the actual numbers, so don't quote me, but I think Spotify said something about like 40,000 songs being uploaded daily. So it's really hard to
that's a
stand
deep
out.
ocean.
Yeah.
It's hard to stand out in the mix. It's hard to get picked up. So, you know, the fact that that song did chart and had the success it did, it means a lot.
Yeah. What do you think, like, what do you think made it stand out to get so noticed?
I think country music is kind of coming back around to where it's trying to get back to true country music, like real roots. And like I said, we lean more toward the Texas sound and even like personally 90s country music was the best country music to me, 90s. So a lot of our sound has that 90s country. It was just a good real country song that had a pretty good, beat to it. Every time we play it live, the dance floor packs out, especially when we're playing honky tonks and we try to write where it's where people can connect. So that song, it was one of those breakup songs, and it's talking about kind of checking people's timelines and it driving them crazy, not being able to know, being able to see where they're at, read the comments and stuff. And I think this day and age, if anybody's had a breakup, it's not like it was, before social media. Used to, you break up, you say bye, and
not everybody noticed.
That's it. Now you've got 15 streaming services where you can, or social media services where you can follow each other and see who's where and what they're doing and who they're with. And so it's just one of those songs. It was just one of those breakup songs where I think it just kind of resonated with a lot of people.
Right. No, I think people get it. Yeah, you definitely have a country rock vibe to it. And I think that's a lot of people will go follow through from one side to another with that vibe. And that's always a good vibe to come through on my playlist. If I'm working or doing something in the house, I want something that's going to play like that, not something that's going to put me to sleep. So
we've always tried to stay, like I said, even our shows, we try to stay extremely high energy and just make it fun. I mean, music has always been a release for me. So I've always tried to, like I said, get as many people involved in the shows as possible. And
so you have a extended CD coming out, or more songs. You've got 2 out now, or will on Friday. How do you go? What is your process for picking songs that you're gonna put together and record?
This EP, because the first EP I released, I was actually a rock guy for years. I was in a rock band. We did all rock music, traveled the circuit. I was, at one point in time, I was even sponsored by Jaeger, Jägermeister, doing, just rock stuff. And, over time, like I said, I grew up, I'm from Alabama, I'm from South Alabama, and country was more authentic to me. So I started making the decision to start country music. And when I started writing, I didn't know which direction to go, because country it's such a broad spectrum. Everything's country. You can have an R&B song and it's country. You can have a rock song and it's still country. So in the beginning, when I started writing, I didn't really have a vision. And so my first EP that I released, every song on the album was a different type of country song. It was, I had like the beach, like Kenny Chesney kind of sound and stuff. I had one that sounds like Trace Adkins. I had, the rock kind of vibe. I had the real traditional chicken picking kind of country. And I figured that would kind of give me a direction, and it did. It did. You talk to this group of 20 people, they like this song. You talk to this group of 20, they like that song. So over the last couple of years, I've kind of finally developed my direction, my sound. And instead of going to Nashville and co-writing with a bunch of different writers that I had just met and walking in the room, this album was mostly written by me my drummer and my guitar player. So everything has kind of a cohesive sound, cohesive vibe. We kind of have a direction, and we all feel like it's our best work that we've put out. So
love that.
Yeah, that's actually a great journey. Like really, you have to like take the journey to find out where you're going. You know what you say about the whole like everything's country now. It's like a lot of things that used to be rock would totally be country right now. I mean, I have Hotel California up here, even ZZ Top. Like a lot of that would all be country these days and not rock.
Well, there's not as many. I mean, there's even more genres out there, but as far as the mainstream, there's not as many. They don't promote as many genres as they used to. I mean, and so I think everything kind of became a crossover. Everything. I mean, look at the country artists that have pop songs out there, or you know, pop singers, or even R&B or rappers that have stepped over into the country, and it's just. I mean, who would have thought that Kid Rock was going to be a country artist?
Right.
You know,
his name's literally Kid Rock.
Yeah. Or like Aaron Lewis from Stain. You know, I mean, these are guys that were rockers when I was rocking, and now they're you know, now they're country.
Right. But you know, there's always been those singer-songwriters that sing one genre but write a whole bunch of other genres. Or write under other names. That's always been a kind of a thing. But it used to be you would write under a different name than if you sang in a different genre, right? So right. Yeah.
I love it.
But now they just do whatever.
It's you know, I think the biggest thing is just trying to be authentic with yourself and do things that will resonate with your crowd, you know, what you're trying to attract. So
yeah. So when did you know that this is what you wanted to do, that you wanted to be, you know, a singer, songwriter, performing on tours?
So I started playing. I played in my very first bar at 14 years old.
Okay.
And so I was always in bands, always around music. But it was kind of like a hobby. It was a weekend thing. My family, I grew up in my family's car garage. So I grew up turning wrenches for my granddaddy.
Yeah.
And, so I'd play on the weekends, and I'd play on the weekends. And I think I was about 31. The shop had finally closed down after 50 years.
Okay.
And I had some other things going on in my personal life that kind of freed me up, and kind of got to a point where I was like, it's now or never. Let's try it. Let's see, you know, if I could even make it, if I could even pay my as a full-time position. So about 30 years old, I stepped out and started chasing it full time, and I guess about a year into that, I was like, okay, I'm making it. I'm you know, standing on my own 2 feet, and I could actually see a career. So then from then it was trying to build it into a career, not just playing shows, not just booking to make money, but to really truly you know, start marketing and trying to build a career.
Okay.
So go ahead, Julie. Sorry.
So when did you start writing songs?
I wrote even when I was 15, 16. I mean, I've always, as a matter of fact, I used to write a lot more back then than I do now. Just because we do stay so busy, it's hard to, you know, like I said, a lot of times I'll be on the road and just jot down a line or a thought, and then, you know, it might be a month or two before I can come back to sit down and try to do anything with it at this point.
Right. No, it's a hectic schedule. You've got a great tour coming up. You've got a lot of great dates, and which is fantastic. It's great to see musician being able to book that many dates. It's, you know, fun to see tours like that.
On top of everything else, I still do all my own booking.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
So it's
In all your spare time, yes.
So it's definitely a full time.
So you're running your own full small business, all pieces.
Yeah.
We have built a team. I have like a personal manager that helped us. We made a deal. It's a Rise Entertainment, but we made a deal that she was going to kind of help us try to get to the next level, and I was going to keep the train on the tracks, so to speak. And then just here recently, we signed also with Burning Ground Entertainment out of Nashville. Mm-hmm. So I'm finally starting to build a team around me where I can try to free up to focus on the shows and hopefully, you know, start writing a little bit more and having more time to get into the studio. But right now it's just we're wide open. It's
right. Yeah, no,
all
you
day,
like,
every day.
Right. It's like fun to see that when you're like hop on and you're like, you got dates, you got things going on. You have a website.
Anything online, you can find us at Frank Fletcher Music.
Okay.
Perfect. Nice and simple.
Right. Yeah, I like that instead of 10 different traces, right?
Right.
So, no, I was like online on your website and easy to use, easy to find dates. It's when I got to be sassy with Sarah and say Frank's going to be here. So
I know, so you get to go. That's fun. What is your favorite thing about performing live?
I'm still huge on crowd interaction. I mean that's what it's all about to me is seeing like last night and the night before we played at a place called the Hangout in Gulf Shores, and it's Gulf Shores, Alabama. It's right on the beach, but it's a big restaurant, but it's all about family friendly fun. So I've got, 3 and 4 year olds. Matter of fact, I think last night we even broke into Baby Shark.
No, not Baby Shark.
That was the youngest mosh pit I have ever seen. But
that's spectacular. This is
and all the families out there were like, "Thank you."
They're like, "Thank you for that earworm. I'm going to be singing it for the next 2 weeks." But stuff like that. Like there was a family that came out last night and the night before that had seen us almost a year ago, and when they saw us that we were going to be back, it was actually their kids threw a fit when they found out that we were going to be there to come back and see us. So it's stuff like that just it makes it all worth it. It makes all the sleepless nights, all the traveling, seeing people light up because of what you're doing, making a positive impression. That it means a lot.
Yeah, well, it must be kind of energizing you to keep on going, like you said, without all the sleep.
Right. So what is the most difficult thing about touring?
Depends on the tour. Depends on what happens. Road life is you never know what to expect.
Right. So one of my questions is anything unexpected happened while performing live?
When does it not? Anytime you go in with a plan, just throw it out the window because it's not going to be what you expected. It's not going to be what you think. So, I mean, like one of the last gigs we just played, and I'm not going to name any names or anything like that, but us as a band, we wound up having to rewire the PA system and run sound for the band that was going to open for us because the company that was supposed to take care of it didn't. So, So it was either we let them sink or we jump in and do the work ourselves and make the shows happen. And, that's just kind of the way I was raised. If it needs to be done, do it.
Also, those things come back around. Like, you do the right thing. You never feel bad about doing the right thing.
The band that opened for us, I think they're probably lifelong friends now. They've already reached out 2 or 3 times since we've left.
You just didn't have to do that. But like I said, the kindness, like you're never going to be sad that you helped them out.
No, not at all. And it wasn't their fault either,
No,
so But flat tires,
Yeah.
breakdowns, transmissions going out, just weather.
Mm-hmm.
You just never know what's going to happen on the road.
Yeah. The stuff that movies are made from, right? Like
A magical mystery tour, right?
Couple of years ago, I just bought a brand new, well, I say brand new to me, another bus for us to travel in. And I just bought it, had it for less than 24 hours. And the next day we were on our first show and a lady ran a stop sign, ran out in front of me, and it actually totaled the bus. The fire department had to cut us out to be able to get us out because it slammed it. Like you couldn't get out of the door. And one of our friends was following us in a van, and we all piled in the van. A matter of fact, I think I had like the kick drum like in my lap. Like we were just all the gear and all of us piled in the van. We left the RV with the cops on the side of the road and still made it to the show. And still played the show that night. So it's just, it's your mindset and your perspective and how you want to chase it, I guess.
Right. Make it happen.
Yeah. I mean, it must be hard in a sense to always choose to do the right thing. So I think we appreciate your positive mindset.
It's like I said, it's hard on the road. You go 3 or 4 days with no sleep and sleeping on sometimes they provide you a place to sleep and it might actually be a mattress on the floor. I mean,
right.
At this point, that's real road life. That's the stuff that you don't see in movies. Movies, it's you got the bus and you got
the hotel,
you got these nice luscious hotels, and that does happen sometimes. I joke, I tell everybody it's one day you're eating prime rib and the next day you're eating ramen noodles.
Right.
Yeah.
And until you make it to the next level, I think that's kind of how every musician that's ever made it has had to live. I mean, you hear stories about them living in their car because they were homeless, before they hit it. So,
and you hear that you hear that a lot, actually, right? I mean, Jewel even tells that story about living in her car in Nashville until.
Yeah, I got to see Priscilla Block at the Opry, the Grand Ole Opry, and she was telling a story about like she was like sitting in the living room of her apartment and was about to get evicted and couldn't pay rent and was like 2 weeks away from just completely falling apart. And then she got a phone call and it changed her life from there. So,
amazing.
One call away. Always one call away.
It's always one call, one song, one right person,
and
one connection.
I think that's what keeps everybody going.
Right.
Especially starting out, as you're climbing the ladder, when you get started and you're trying to build. I always laugh, and I was like, you play 50 or 60 horrible shows, and you're like, why am I even doing this? Why am I doing this to myself? And then you have that one show where everything clicks, the crowd's amazing, and it just reignites everything, and then you play another 50 or 60 shows.
Well, maybe it's not so many shows.
Waiting for that. Yeah.
And then as you build your brand and marketing and you get a name for yourself, the better shows start coming more and more. But it's always just you're chasing that next thing. You're chasing that next song, that next connection, that next gig.
Right. Super fun. You just we love seeing the process by where the musicians are moving along, and we've had a few through the company, and it's just always interesting, like how you write or how you started in a band, how you started moving on, what's the next thing. what's the longest you've ever been away touring?
We have been pretty good about keeping it between like 6 to 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then, coming back to our local area, and for us, a local show is still about a 3 or 4 hour radius from the house. So we'll drive.
This is the United States,
I mean, we'll drive 3 or 4 hours,
That's a
play
day
the show,
trip,
turn
right?
around and drive 3 or 4 hours back.
Yeah.
That's just, to us, that's normal. So
yeah, I think that's a normal. I'm up in Minnesota. That's normal. Like we'll drive.
Yeah.
For a graduation party and come home.
Right. So, we try to right now, because like I said, I'm still doing all my own booking and everything. So we'll try to plan, 3 big tours a year where we're out 6 to 8 weeks. And then everything else is just, I might put together a week run, we might run over, we're in South Alabama. So we might run over to like Louisiana, but play across Alabama and Mississippi and Louisiana and just try to route it where we come back. But if anybody's looking for an opening act out there and they want us on tour,
give you a call.
Just give us a call. Let us know. We're ready.
Frank Fletcher Music.
Right.
Perfect. So tell us what music inspires you now. What do you like to listen to?
I'm all about my mood. I listen to everything. I always grew up listening to everything. And believe it or not, the blues is what got me started in the music. Guitar players like Stevie Ray Vaughan and where you could actually feel the emotion of the song. I started taking guitar lessons when I was 12, and it was the lead singer of a local blues band that was pretty prominent in our area. And so I was, like I said, I was 12 or 13 sneaking in bars to watch them play.
I would, I'm like, okay, well, that was a great guy to get hooked up for lessons at 12.
Right. And then of course, like the 90s alt rock type stuff. I'm a 90s alt rock kid and 90s country. So, and then over the years, I just added, especially playing in so many different types of bands, and diversity is what keeps you busy when you're doing like the bar scene. When you're not pushing your sound, your originals. These cover bands, to stay busy and actually make money, you have to be versed in everything. So just over the years, I was able to respect every type of music. So it just depends on my mood, on what I want to listen to.
I like that. Yeah,
I feel like that's how I am with music too. It's like your mood dictates what station you're going to throw on, or who are you going to look up on Spotify.
Right. So. What my list is going to look like.
Yeah.
So when you were a kid, what artists inspired you as a kid, or who did you like as a kid?
My biggest inspiration when I was first starting out was a kid named Johnny Lang.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Johnny Lang was huge on the Disney Channel for a little while, and he was in the movie Blues Brothers 2000, and that's about
before that he was playing the local scene around here. So, as a kid. So, also playing in the bars as a kid.
I was a huge Johnny Lang fan. And then, there was a lot of the local musicians in the area that I just kind of gravitated toward, just because I was, following that. And then, as I got older, it was just like me personally, like I said, the 90s alt rock stuff, like Matchbox 20. That's probably still one of my favorite bands out there. Stained, Aaron Lewis, I think is probably one of the best vocalists of my generation. So it just, I kind of picked and chose, different artists from different genres. And
I love that. Yeah. Johnny Lang, he was he was like, I always was like, he was on Disney for a lot of stuff, and you're like, he's like so cool for Disney. But you know, in that era, that's a lot of great artists were on Disney. Like whoever was doing
Right.
kid talent.
I think he's actually part of the reason why I grew my hair out in the beginning. I think
Nice.
he's part of the reason why I still have my long hair.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Perfect.
Yeah, and he used to go by Kid Johnny Lang, like literally
Yeah.
that's the name he went by, right?
So
Yeah.
it was cool. I mean, he was what, like 15 on stage with like BB King and
Right. And even younger than that, he was doing the local music. Well, he recorded in Minneapolis, I think, with Jimmy Jam and those guys. Was doing some recording early with them, but I mean, he was young. He would be on the local news and stuff, very young. So, yeah, no, he's played with some amazing people. That's great that your hair, because he had that. Now that you say that, I think about that. Oh, he did have the long hair going.
Yeah.
And now you still have it.
All right. Do you want to play a little game with us, Frank?
Sure. What you got?
It's a favorites game. It is a game.
It's a game. I'm like, it's not really a game.
It's not a game. Let's start with, what is your favorite movie? Or a couple.
That's hard because I'm a movie nut. Like my downtime.
Give us a few.
When I do have downtime, I just like to dive into a movie and just forget about anything and everything. So, man, a favorite movie?
You can give us a few that you like.
I would have to go just for nostalgia. Just for, I'd have to go Varsity Blues.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's a great
one. That was basically our high school.
That's my high school. I love that.
I think I saw that at the drive-in for the first time.
Nice. Do you have a favorite food, healthy, and guilty pleasure?
Favorite food is probably, I'm a steak and potato guy. You give me a good ribeye that's cooked right, medium rare.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite food. Guilty food wise, I'm a junk food junkie, and it's really hard for me to try to eat healthy, especially being on the road all the time because we're in and out of gas stations and stuff. So, Reese cups all the way.
Oh yeah, delicious.
Yeah, those are a favorite here. What about a TV show? Maybe one of your favorites of all time, and then something that you've been binging.
Well, here recently, I just started watching. It's called Fubar. It's on Netflix. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger's new show. Yeah. And I'm only like 5 episodes in because I don't really have time to watch much TV.
Right.
But so that's the one I'm watching currently. Favorite of all time, huh?
Or a comfort one that you just put on because you just want it on.
You're tired.
Yeah. I mean, growing up, it was, Home Improvement and stuff like that. I grew up when TGIF was still on. So Friday nights, it was, Step by Step and Sister and all of those type of shows.
All of them. Yes. I'm trying to get my daughter to watch all of them, and she has no interest. And I'm like, but these are like real, this is real TV.
That's how my son is too. I'm like, hey, this is what I wait. No.
Right.
Not cool anymore.
So when you're not excessively busy managing touring and bookings and writing music and all those, do you have any hobbies or activities that you like to do?
I try to spend as much time with my son as I possibly can when I'm home. So he's super active. He's 13, so we play football and bowling league right now, and like I said, we do like movies, so we already made plans. Me, him, my mom, and my nephews are all going to see Elemental tomorrow.
Oh, fun!
And then when we leave there, I mean, he's probably going to want to go to either the trampoline park or go toss the football at the park or something like that. I love to be able to have a day where I can hop on my bike and just go ride and just, that's my kind of meditation time. I try to get in the gym as much as I possibly can. Like I said, the road life is pretty hard on that.
Right.
And then
It's
during
like
the
on the other
summer,
hand, you need it for the road life. It's like,
we load we load all our own gear in and out
oh
too.
yeah,
So,
there you go.
know what I mean, we don't.
You don't need a trainer. You just load and unload.
We don't have roadies, so, or drivers. So,
Oof.
No rest for the weary. That's true.
Yeah.
So what about a favorite vacation location? Either somewhere you've been or somewhere you really like to go, or both.
So my favorite place is actually it's work vacations, but my two favorite places in the U.S. right now that we travel to is Key West,
Oh yeah, so
and
fun.
then I love Deadwood, South Dakota.
Right.
And they're
You
polar
have a bunch of dates in Deadwood.
No sense whatsoever, but that's my two favorite places. I'm getting ready. I finally just booked. I'm taking a week off. Finally, I haven't had a weekend off in I don't know how many years. Me and the guys were just talking about it, and like when your name is on the billboard, your drummer can take a weekend off. You can get a fill-in. Your guitar player can take a weekend off. You can get, but
you can't.
If the band name is Frank Fletcher and Frank Fletcher is the product, and then Frank Fletcher is not there.
Right.
Can't.
They're like, no, that's not what I paid for.
So I actually, I just booked a cruise. Me and my wife are going to be going to Mexico in September. So kind of like 76 days away.
Not that you're counting.
Oh, that's great! Congratulations.
Yeah, that sounds lovely.
You'll need that.
So you're doing a cruise, so you'll be on a boat and you can't like just get off and go do something else. So here it is. I love that.
Yeah.
There's we're gonna stop in Cozumel and then the Yucatan, and I was already looking at the excursion packages and stuff. So I think we're gonna book one where it's like riding four-wheelers and then zip lining, and then you rappel and wind up snorkeling in this sinkhole. So
yes. Sounds perfect.
It does. Sounds absolutely.
I'm excited. I grew up in Hawaii.
Okay.
And I always wanted to go back, so
yeah.
I moved back to Hawaii right out of high school. Actually, I turned 21 when I was in Hawaii. So the beach, island life, anything that's got the island vibes and the beach and stuff like that. I'm a beach bum at heart. I just happen to live in Alabama, so.
Okay, I'm just like
some great beaches, though, right?
Alabama, like I said, over Gulf Shores.
Yeah.
Like the other side. I'm on the other end. But I am really close to like Panama City Beach.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only about an hour and a half away from Panama City. 2 hours from like Destin and Fort Walton.
Oh, yeah, nice.
And that's some of the prettiest beaches.
Yeah.
In the country.
Definitely.
Okay. Was not expecting to hear that you were raised in Hawaii.
My dad was military, and that was his first duty.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
So I wound up 3 to like 7, and it just rubbed off on me a lot.
Yeah, love that island life.
Yeah, my grandfather was in the Navy, so my mom lived there for a little while, and I always loved that she got to do like hula lessons when she was a little kid. Like you don't get to do that unless you live in Hawaii.
Yeah. My sister took hula lessons.
That's awesome. It's awesome.
So fun.
Yeah, they don't offer those in Minnesota.
No. Well, they had, and I don't know if it's still like that over there now, but the school systems. I mean, we had like music time, and they had what they called Aloha Fridays, where you got out at lunch, so you could go, surf and stuff.
But you want to know what? That like really probably great, for the mindset and
yeah.
It's a good mindset. Now, school system wise, when I got back, Aloha Fridays didn't pay off when you.
Were you a little behind?
Yeah, it was weird. They had me, back then everything wasn't PC like it is now. So back then they still called them LD classes, learning disability. So I was in LD and tag at the same time. and it was just they had me way behind in certain areas, and then I was, accelerated in others.
Right.
So it took me about a year and a half to get caught back up and mainstreamed. But like I said, that was second, third grade. So
Right.
It worked itself out.
Worked itself out.
Yeah.
No, that's but it is. It's like it is interesting. Like now that there's a little more standardization, or people can find like kind of where you should be. I think things are getting a little more even.
Right, but I mean, I vote Aloha Fridays. Let's bring that back.
I know. I'm just like, can we not do Fayette and just have Aloha Friday? And I would have totally gone surfing every day.
I would much rather have an Aloha Monday.
Oh yeah.
I would be okay. I'd be open to the Monday. Yeah.
Just kind of ease back into the workday, because Friday you're excited because you got the weekend.
True.
Monday, half day, then let's call it good. And of
course, I say that my work days are usually, my work weeks are usually Thursday through Sunday. So Monday's actually my Saturday.
Monday is your Saturday. Yeah.
I don't work normal days or hours or anything. So
who knows what day it is. These 2 weeks, Julie.
I know. I
normally
normal schedule through Sarah for a loop. She's like, "What's up with your schedule?" It's normal, like I'm a regular person, but I'm not.
Like a regular person.
I don't even know where I am or what I have going on half the time anymore. I have to look at the calendar like that week, and I'm like, "Oh, okay. So I'll be in this state on this day."
She'll sometimes text me, "What are you working Tuesday?" I'm like, "I don't know."
Yeah.
I literally have to look.
The guys will call me. They're like, "When are we leaving for this show?" I'm like, I don't know. That's tomorrow. We'll deal with that tomorrow. Like, let's get through
today. If there's somewhere I can find it.
Yeah.
It's not happening now.
My bass player absolutely hates it because he's one of those guys. He likes to have an itinerary, like this whole Sturgis trip we're getting ready to go on. Like he wants to know like every show, what the times are, where
it's on the website,
like everything.
Oh, where you're sitting and everything. He needs the whole checkoff list.
And I'm like, I'm still booking shows now. Like, I mean,
could change.
We're already booked, and I'm booking on top. Like I said, last year we played 31 shows in 18 days. So,
oh my gosh.
The show I think I just got us booked today would be a bucket list show for me. I don't even want to say it out loud because I don't want to jinx it, but it would be a bucket list show. It would be something that I've always wanted to do as a biker myself. But it would mean playing 3 shows in one day.
Is that happening?
At 3 different venues.
Oh.
Is that happening?
We're about 90% that it's going to happen right now. So they're trying to give us a time slot where we can slide in and be able to make it to all 3 shows.
Okay. And then slide in, slide out. Okay. That sounds amazing.
All right. So how do you save your voice on days where you're performing multiple times?
It's taken me a long time to figure out what songs, like where my niche is. So we do, when we're playing bike rallies and stuff like that, we push our originals, but we also play a lot of cover songs.
Yeah.
And so we play any and every genre, any decade, any style of music you want us to play. But I was able to learn where my vocals, where I was in each genre. So, I don't blow my voice out. And we are one of the only groups around here that if we are playing a cover show, we play a 4-hour show nonstop, straight, no breaks.
Wow.
Well, if you go to Key West, if you go to Nashville, if you go to Austin, Texas, if you go to any of these big tourist areas, that's how they want their shows.
Okay.
4 hours, no breaks. So we just adopted that and started doing it everywhere. And I think that's kind of helped, if you're used to doing it all the time, it holds out. But like I said, 31 shows in 18 days. By the end of it, I was doing a lot of like Bob Seger and, that
you were.
stuff where you could, you kind of growl your way through
it.
That's perfect. Okay. So, where can we hear your music?
We are on all streaming platforms. Of course, Apple Music, Spotify. You can go to our website, frankfletchermusic.com. Like I said, the new single "Rollin'" is coming out June 23rd.
Friday.
Yep, this Friday. If you go to any of my social media platforms, there is a link that you can click to pre-save. So if anybody is feeling froggy, look us up. Please hit the pre-save. That helps us out a lot. But like I said, every streaming platform, and I think we've got about 6 or 7 songs uploaded right now, and then we're about to release about 7 more. So
nice.
And then if they want to see your tour dates, that's also at frankfletchermusic.com.
That's also on the website. Or you can go to Bands in Town, which is a big. But Bands in Town is on the website. You can see it on the website, but you can go straight to Bands in Town also. And we keep that updated. Or follow us on Frank Fletcher Music on Insta or Facebook or even TikTok, and we try to keep everybody up to date as to what we're doing, when we're going to be there, and some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, you had some great behind the scenes on Instagram.
Yeah,
lots of fun. So on top of booking and performing and driving and loading, you're also maintaining all your social media. So you've got a full plate.
Burning Ground is helping quite a bit with that now.
Okay, that's awesome.
But we still have to create the content. So
yeah,
if you notice, a lot of those videos are me sitting in the driver's seat. I probably spend more time behind the driver's seat than I do doing anything else in my life right now. So
I imagine.
Well, you have an amazing tour coming up, and I'm for sure looking forward to that. So hopefully my weird schedule doesn't get changed around, and I'll make it down there and bring some friends. So
let me know. Let me know. We'll roll out the red carpet, give you the VIP treatment.
Okay, well, if we're rolling in, I'll let you know that we're coming in, and I'll message you, and we'll let you know. And it's very possible we'll be there. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. And you have an amazing tour. You got a lot of dates. You're putting more dates in there. So
yeah, we try to stay busy, but I mean, when you do it for a career, it's stay busy and make money and eat, or sit at the house and go hungry. And
right.
I like to eat, and steaks are expensive. So.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Frank, for being here. Make sure, everybody, that you're following Frank Fletcher Music, and congratulations on your new songs.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
Yes, anytime. And hang on one second. We'll say bye off screen. So thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.